All right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this morning, this Sabbath morning, with a message. And the message is titled, They Are Intimidated by You. They are intimidated by you. Out of the water, YAHWEH speaketh. I say that because I was in the shower this morning and the Most High said some things to me. And I was going to do a video, but I wanted to do it on another topic, but I'm going to bring this topic before you all. And I want to bring it before you because I think it's important that I do so. Even though while in the shower, out of the water, YAHWEH speaketh. And what he spoke to me was, they are intimidated by you. They are intimidated by you. I remember feeling that I knew it was something, but I didn't quite pinpoint it. You know, the Spirit can speak to you regarding many things, and it seems to get away from you. It gets away from you because of that side of human that takes words that he has implanted in you in time past and causes you to do away with those words, those great words in which he has instilled in you. But when he show up again, and bring them words before you again at a different level, you begin to remember, praise the Most High Yah, what he have said unto you in time past. So my topic this morning on this Sabbath morning is, they are intimidated by you, said the Most High Yah. He brought this message to my spirit, and he did it through the water. The water flowed as I showered upon my body, and the words of Yah began to speak in my spirit. And I say unto you all, remember the words of the Most High Yah. From the days of your youth and the days of your adulthood, remember, even when you were a child, forsake not the word from the Most High Yah. And we tend to get away from them, all because our flesh. But I'm grateful for he that is greater in me than he that's in the world, because when Yeshua said he must go and that the Father was going to send a comforter, and that comforter will bring all things back to your remembrance. So I say this morning, Yah's visit to me has been an awesome one this morning while in the shower. Out of the water, YAHWEH spoke unto my spirit. They are intimidated by you. Praise the Most High Yah. Praise the Most High Yah. Before I get into this message, I like to hear from you all. I want to hear from you all because I want to hear your opinion, in a sense. If you were in a situation and someone is wanting to know something, where you at in this day and time, would you prefer them to call you by phone, or would you prefer them to text you by text? They ask you the question. Will you prefer answering the question in which they asked by phone or by text? Send me a comment letting me know which way would you prefer to communicate a question that is asked. One asked you. Would you want to communicate it by phone, or would you prefer to communicate it by text? Send me a comment and give me your insight. Okay, just asking that question. Okay, and please don't beat around the bush. Let's get to the core of the matter. That's where we at today. All this running around the bush and trying to get this way, this way, this way. When it's all, things can be answered simple. It don't have to be. See, what people want to do, they want to have answered the question by many words so you can get confused and caught up in even your own thought. But we're going to just get to the answer of that, because it's just that simple. What would you prefer? Not what you think Sister Deborah prefer, but what would you prefer? And then send Sister Deborah a comment on what you would prefer. Okay. Now, back to out of the water, YAHWEH speaketh unto me this morning. And you know what's beautiful about it is because it was to me. It was to me from him. You see, that's beautiful. Why? Because he knew already my thoughts were weakening, and he wanted to strengthen it through the Spirit. That do not let what is invested in you fall nowhere but where it's at. Leave it where it's at. Okay? So he said, they are intimidated by you, said the Most High Yah. Okay? Now, this is not something Sister Deborah is saying. This is what the Ruach is saying unto me. Okay? The first question was, Father. The first question that rests within me was, Father, was how long? That's the first thing I said in the water, taking a shower. For how long has this been? The Ruach was really working with me by bringing things back to my remembrance. And then he said, as long as you can remember. And as long as you, Deborah, can remember, that's how long. Praise the mighty Yah. So he getting somewhere with this. In the sense, I'm asking a question that's already resting therein. I already knew the question, that the answer to the question that I was asking him. But because I was thrown off by the fact that he said, they are intimidated by you. By you. So after my first question that rests within was, how long has this been? And the Spirit says, as long as you can remember. You guys, that's a mighty long time. Okay? But it all makes sense. But I like what he's saying, and I'm starting to get chills because I know exactly what he said. Okay? He said to me, you don't have to speak a word. You don't have to speak a word. They are intimidated by you. Okay. I want to say to you all, I know that I have a purpose, and I know my purpose. I know my reason. I know I am a servant of the Most High Yah. I know that I've been appointed, anointed, predestined, and ordained from the kingdom. So my approval is not from you. It was the one that was speaking to me in the shower this morning. Okay. So when he said to me that you don't have to speak a word, that led me to really chime in to the fact that I knew already that it wasn't what I was saying that brings me to the bosom of the Father. It's where the Father has appointed, anointed, predestined me, ordained, and foreknew me before the foundation of the world. I can't look for anything on this earth, not even my flesh, to give glory and honor and praise to. Being accepted as a servant and being sealed with something in my spirit that sends signals out that people are scared, inferior, and frightened by me. I always knew it, even in elementary. Even in elementary. I knew it was something, but I didn't know to the level of what I know as an adult and as a mother of many children. I knew it then. I came to the fullness of understanding it then, because it was just going too far. Me trying to understand that I don't fit in with the crowd, which is the crowd is the world. I don't fit in. I couldn't fit in even if I tried, because of what he said to me this morning. They are intimidated by you. And I have spoken to you all for 7 years, and then no one ever caught it. Not one subscriber, not one viewer, not one that liked have pinpointed the fact that is something about this individual. I just can't pinpoint it. And I say unto you, when the Spirit speaks to you like he spoke to me in the water, don't be moved by words of others. And that's the problem with people. They are moved by the words of many voices in the land, and they're not sitting still and being unremovable, steadfast and unremovable in what the Spirit says unto you. So he said, you don't have to speak a word. Deborah, your presence alone intimidate people. You don't have to be present. You don't even have to be present. They are still intimidated by you. Remember, I have spoken it in time past and to the present, that I meet people and they come up talking like they know me. Ain't never seen them in their life, nor I seen them in my life. But people feel comfortable being able to just blurt out their life, their living, their thoughts. Those are the one that discern something. They can't figure out what it is. And guess what? Like I explained to y'all, when it come down to the race It doesn't matter. I speak to all nationalities. And yes, I do. Always did. All my living. So he's telling me that, Deborah, your presence alone intimidate people. You don't even have to be present, and you will intimidate people. So what is Yah saying to me in this water? That you are created to come down to this earth as a servant, that one fears or scared or frightened, feel inferior toward you. So, or of you, let's put it like that, not toward you, but of you. It all makes sense to me. But I, Sister Deborah, want to get to the core of why this day, Father. And I know for a fact, because he has spoken this to me many of days. And because of the flesh and the voices in the land and the cares of the world, you have allowed and you are allowing it to escape from you. That which is in you for the what? The long haul. Okay? So my second question was to the Father, can they see it? So are they intimidated by me because it's something they could see of me or on me? So that second question was, can they see it, Father Yah? That's leading me to fully understand that there's something about me, with no doubt, that has been with me and in me and created for me to walk this journey. Now watch this. He said, no, they can't see it. He said it is a total spiritual realm that cannot be leveled down to the realm of the flesh. What he has invested in me, it's in the spiritual realm that cannot be leveled down to the realm of the flesh. He says the reason why you can see right through people, invisibility, quotes, this means behind not just what they wear, but their flesh as well. Praise the mighty Yah. When I say to you all, and I've said in time past, you constantly come to this page over and over and over and over. And because you are of the world, you can't accept the words from the servant that Yah has sent down to be in the midst of the body of Hamashiach. But yet you come and you tag around the midst of where my voice, my presence of on YouTube is at. And just because you're up in the corner, just because you're set back, don't think I can't see you. Don't think I can't feel you. This is what the Spirit is bringing to me this morning. You knew it all the time, Deborah. And then I asked him how long. He said, as long as you can remember. So he know how long that been. You see, I've spoken it and people still yet come and hide. This way, the reason why people like to hide and to uh, portray up in the box or to listen, I would have want it to be because they are so in tune with the Father. They are so what you call have given and gave Yah all of themselves to the point they want to hear the food for the spirit. But I don't see it like that because I don't feel it like that. People hide out and come and hear you in a way that I can eat at the table, but can't participate at the table, nor pay for what I eat from the table. So they hide away from the table and say, I still am in there. You see? But what Yah is saying to me is they are intimidated by you. They really are. And did you know I knew that they were? But throughout, as time go on, your flesh seemed to just, whatever, let me keep on running. Remember I told you, running that race, getting in my lane, that's what it's mainly about. Trying to stay in my lane and continue the race. But I am so grateful this Sabbath morning when the Spirit spoke to me about how they are intimidated by you and how that you don't have to even speak a word. Your presence alone intimidate them. You don't have to be present. The second question was, can they see it? The Father says, no, they can't see it. Totally spiritual realm that cannot level down to the realm of the flesh. Praise the mighty Yah. And this here also, going back to what I was saying, it shows me the level of where he has me even in this day and time. Okay. But it wasn't what he was saying. His whole overall is it didn't start today when I met you in the water and spoke it to you from the water. It was for as far as you can remember. Have you had this? That's how far I implanted this before the foundation of the world. But as far as you can remember, you knew it. You see? I remember telling you all, no matter who gets on this platform, going back to this over again, you go up in the how many listening, how many hearing, how many in the corner, or how many this and that and that. No, you can't be anything but what you are to your own flesh. Because people don't understand when they portray that role, they are not making it better for themselves. What would be the purpose to be on this platform? And this is the devil platform. Why are you on the devil platform? Unless you're serving the devil. Or are you serving Yah by participating, by supporting? So if you're not supporting and you're not participating, you're serving Satan. You're just doing it the way he does it. Hide out and think you entitled. And he will get you to think that you are fully in there. I'm just trying to show you. Listen to what he said. You can see right through the people. Invisibility croaks. And what that means, the invisibility croaks is, this means behind all of what they wear, even This is what got me when he said, even their flesh. It is not meant for you to take what he missioned me to and measure it by your judgment and by the way you feel and your emotions. It just level off what seed do you come down here to really represent. You can't be for Sister Deborah and against her at the same time. And people are having issues with that. They want to be for her, but they're more against her than they for her. Because when you are against her, you are like Cain and Abel. Cain hated Abel for not a reason on this earth. Yet that was his brother. They had a conversation. They conversate with each other. But it didn't stop Cain from hating his brother to the level of taking him his life, shedding his blood. When that's one example to show us the beginning. It is the example today. It is the example today. And people want to continue to follow without support at all. Of no way. Because yes, this is the devil's platform. The devil has in full control 99.9 of these platforms. I ain't ashamed to tell the truth. But thank be the Most High Yah who still has his light shine. In the midst of all of this darkness, he still have his word being spoken. So this is why people don't understand that you better check with your own seed. Because you either for Sister Deborah or you against Sister Deborah. And in Yah, it's already measured. He gives me the ability to already know. And a lot of people don't even believe it's even in your actions where you stand. It's in your actions. But I can discern beyond just your actions, your thoughts. And why? Because I know. A lot of people don't even understand your action can be overlooked. Why? Because your action takes you to the highest level of what's going on with you, with your thoughts. So you can kick the actions away, but still, I can. Let me not say that, everybody can still discern the thoughts. This is why people come and they sit up in the corner. Because they want to portray in themselves that they are in with Yah when they are on the outside of who Yah is. Because what people don't understand, this same creator that visited me in the shower this morning, that shot into me, they are intimidated by you. He gave that to me with no space in between. Let me tell you, that's a seal of you stay exactly where I have you. Don't move. Because they are intimidated by you. Don't move. I got you right. And then he began to say that the invisibility of the croaks is really you have the ability to see past who they are. I told y'all that. I explained that over and over and over, but it's not meant for you to grip it and understand it and accept it. You cannot accept anything when Yah has not accepted you. You can't accept anything if Yah has not accepted you by abiding in you and you in him. Okay? So I like that he was explaining to me not only their clothes, you can see past their clothes and their flesh. Now, honestly, when he said to me, as long as you can remember, I remember being able to have that ability. Did I know what it was for? No. And I'm going to break all these things down. I'm going to take y'all way back to when I was a kindergarten, all the way up. I'm going to show y'all my whole living experience matches what the Ruach was saying. And as time go on, now, did I know that there was something about me? What makes me get soft in the midst of what Yah has made me hard for? It's flesh. My flesh wants to bend to get along. My flesh wants to bend to be understood. My flesh wants to bend to be accepted. My flesh wants to bend to feel that I'm normal. My flesh wants to bend to all of that. But there's something so greater in me that's greater than anything on the outside of me, which is my flesh, meaning outside of my spirit, which is my flesh, that keeps me running on with this journey in my life. So listen to this. So he said that this is the prime reason. The prime reason is, listen to this, what the Spirit is saying. You can see right through people. Invisibility cloaks. This means behind their clothing and their flesh. This is the prime reason, Deborah. They are intimidated by you. Praise the mighty Yah. Praise the mighty Yah. This is the reason why they are intimidated by you. This is why it's so hard for their flesh to obey their spirit, because they are intimidated by you. He say, this, Deborah, is the prime reason. Okay. And then he was explaining to me, you don't follow the multitude nor the crowd. Okay. You don't. It ain't that you don't today. You didn't yesterday. Nor the crowds. If everybody say, let's go right, Sister Deborah hop up and go left. Didn't I tell y'all? I do that with everything. I measure everything by going the opposite way where you see the multitude. I take really to heart when y'all is leveling things down, like the narrow gate, the broad gate, or the those who goes the way of what is it, the many and few. When he say the remnant, that's the remnant based on the other side of remnant, the small remnant. When he's talking, he's not giving you very many, y'all. Even when he say, I ain't gonna say he, but even when they say 144, wait a minute, baby, that's no number. That's 1%. And I don't know why nobody don't precept that up and lay it down. I don't get it. But back to what I'm saying here. He said, you don't follow the multitude nor the crowd. And if you ask the question, how long? Go back to as far as you can remember. I never did that. I never wanted to fit in with the multitude to be favored or to be liked. The reason why you can look at it the way the Ruach is speaking to me is I got more than altogether probably 2,500 videos. And yet I'm still running. The videos can either feed you or starve you. Feed your spirit or starve the spirit that is the serpent seed. One or the other. So it's carrying what Yah placed in it to carry. Okay? So therefore, and it's out so that it would always be present, but it has to match up to the eternal will. The eternal will is going to always be the least. So you got to make sure that you're over in that lane where the least is at. And when I say make sure, not that your flesh mind, your flesh feeling, your flesh thoughts, but your spirit has to accept that, okay, if you're going to ride high with Yah, know that you're going to be low in every number. Okay. So you can set and say you made 2,500 videos, but you got least followers. You got least uh, 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 likes. That's falling under that category. Okay. Of Yah's eternal will. That's his will. See, even though the world's saying everybody going to heaven, ain't no such thing as hell. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but if you had to do a percentage, you have majority of the people saying everybody going to heaven, because there's no such thing as hell. And a lot of y'all don't understand that's the way this whole world thinks. And I'm not just talking about the United States, but the world itself. That's how they think. So therefore, I don't think like the world, because something is greater in me than the world itself on the outside of me. Hello. Okay. So he wanted me to know that, you don't follow the multitude, Deborah. You don't follow the crowd. And guess what he said? He said, your strength is not found in numbers. Praise the Most High, Yah. It sure isn't, y'all. My strength is not based on numbers. It is and never will be and never have been. My strength is not based on numbers. Okay. He began to tell me about two situations he wanted me to bring up. But before I get into those situations, I think I better get into these situations. I have four sisters and an oldest brother, which has passed. The oldest brother passed away. But I have four siblings that's older than I am. And one of my siblings, when I was missioned to go to Georgia, and I had 6 kids, and I was taking my children away from the birthplace, which was Missouri, taking the children away from there and moving to Georgia. Well, I had one of my oldest sisters said to me when she came back to say bye, and when we were going to leave the day after, the next day, and she said, you know what? Only one can do that is you. She said that to me. She said, Booby, only one can do that is you. You the only one can do that. You see? And then she said, there are times when I'll be around you, and she said, your words frighten me. When you speak, it always frightened me because I didn't know what you was going to say. So right then, that came back to my remembrance when Yah said, they are intimidated by you. It frightened her to hear even words. Did my sister and I ever fought or got in an argument or yelled at each other? No. But why would she feel that way? Because of what Yah is saying today, to bring me back into the fullness of where he created me, because I can see what he's doing. He's letting me know, don't slip over. Keep going in the right direction. You're doing well. And he had to bring me to this level of understanding. They are. Not they shall be, or they are going to be, or they might be, Deborah. He said, they are intimidated by you. So when my sister said that to me, that was back in 2004, when I was leaving to go to Georgia. And when she said that to me, and she also said that, and when I go to work, when you say something, I go to work, and it's like this lady, this elderly lady that everybody liked in the office. My sister worked for AT&T. See, everybody liked her in the office. But that lady used to come right around and turn around and said to me the same thing you said. And then every time she said she would come around me, she was always frightened by the words that I would speak. Was I ministering to my sister? No. I would speak reality, facts, which right in this day and time, nobody don't want none of that. Nobody want facts today. Everybody want that sugar-coated mess that make their flesh be able to run on in living the way that they're living. Give them that comfortable state of mind. And another one was, he says, you shall never know your son Joseph. In me, I say, okay, What is it about Joseph that I would never know? My son Joseph. That's the only one in my whole living that the Father have said something like that. As if he has given me the ability to know people. But this one, you would never know. You see? And he's out of my own son. He's out of my own womb. And Yah says you will never know him. So that is capable of individuals being intimidated by you. With him, there's nothing about him that you're going to know. And I was told that when he was 3 months old. 3 months old. So I tried to apply this into the message. You shall never know your son, Joseph. I call him Quiet Storm. So somewhere along the line, his mission is not for me to know it. Oh, his purpose is not for me to know it. Even for me to use all that Yah has invested in me, to give me the right to know people's thoughts, invisibility or crouch. This means behind their clothing nor their flesh. I shall never know him. Anybody else? 100%. He suffered me to be able to know. But this one here, you're not going to. And he was 3 years old. And I still hold that. Because if that's how it is today. Still don't know him. So I'd like to get into what Yah is saying to me today. Is not something new to me. And I like to get into it. But what the Yah is saying to me is, don't let flesh override what has been invested in you. Because what has been invested in you, they are intimidated by you. You remember how I tell you how Sister Deborah never, ever get anyone onto her comment or onto her live really saying anything against nothing I'm actually saying. You see? Let's go back as a young girl in school. As a little girl, I always wanted to be friendly, kind. I've always been a giver. I always felt that everything is about what you give to get what you need here. It's not so much as what you take or what you earn or what you want. It was always to me about what you give. And I remember that's how I felt about having friends. I always wanted to give them something, and this is as a little girl in kindergarten. I mean, it's always something about me that was a giver. I'm always finding something I can do. And giving was always the key to any and everything to me, as far as coming up and being able to deal with people, young children or young in my age, as a little girl coming up. And it gotten so bad to like in third and fourth and fifth and sixth, I was wondering why people were so afraid of me, you know? So I just assume maybe I'm ugly, or what is it that people were so afraid of me, and no one never bullied me, or beat me up, or come up to me and fight and argue and fuss, and no, no, no. Uh, I remember it got to a point when I was like in the fifth and the sixth grade. I remember even the teachers acting as if I was different, and it made me feel set aside. It was just a when I say different, it wasn't a different that they thought I had a learning disability, or I couldn't read, I couldn't do it. It's just the way that they dealt with me was different. You know what I'm saying? It really was totally different. The way that they communicate with me was different. When I was like in the fourth, I think fourth, fifth, and sixth, I remember uh, two young ladies used to always bring me candy. Used to always give me candy, you know, and I never understood why they did it. I never understood why. Uh, uh, and they continued to do it throughout the year, and I never understood why. But even looking back now, I know now why, but looking back at it now, you could think that, hey, Sister Deborah was bullying them, and they was afraid of her, and they was wanted to give her candy to keep. I never put my hands on individual. I always thought fighting was such the worst thing in anything. I always thought like that. Fighting was the worst of anything. I never wanted or started fights. I wasn't that type of person. But looking back at it, the reason why they were giving me that, because it was something that they were frightened, and they were scared of me. I'm just bringing it to the core. So this is the reason why they might have been, and as children like this, that's probably why they did it, because I couldn't understand why they did it. All I know is that they did it. So even as I was coming up as a young person, I couldn't even put it in the category of bullying anyone, because I never put my hands on anyone. I'm never speaking to anyone. I'm never communicating with people. I'm never talking to people. I'm never arguing with them. I'm never fighting. It's just that they did it, you see. And throughout my elementary living, everybody in my elementary was afraid of me. They were afraid of me, y'all. And I couldn't put the pieces together. But I lived an uncomfortable life, because to me, I never could put the pieces together. Why are the males and the females throwing off this fear of me? I couldn't put the pieces together. I could not put it together. So when the father says to me, when I asked him, how long has this been? He says, as long as you can remember. So that's what I'm doing to you. I'm bringing it back to you. It's been just that long um, that they are and were intimidated by you. They felt scared. They felt frightened, inferior. You see, uh, it goes all the way back. It's a little girl. That's why he said, as far as you can remember. How about that? How about that? So he wanted to let me know, as I can remember even being here on the earth, how long has this been? And then also throughout those times I was in elementary also, I used to always have Bibles under my mattress and crosses under my mattress. Yeah, I used to collect them and put it under my mattress. I believed in the Creator. I believed in him to the point where I can come home from school and go and talk to him. That's how I believed he existed. I believed he was real. But I also believe in the entity that also existed. You know, there was an entity that existed as well on the dark side. And the one I've always was able to see him. My thoughts were bombarded by him when it's time for the evening to turn into night. So I was tormented throughout the night hour, but in the morning hour, I was good to go. But when I was tormented, it was pretty much giving me the insight of who he was. In that tormented, he was tormenting me with bad thoughts about my parents passing away, my siblings passing away, I'm passing away, and we'll never see each other again, stuff like that. And how they pass away or how I pass away. He haunted me throughout my whole elementary school year. And during that time, I can remember things being revealed to me regarding him. And when I got to the point where I knew that I had the power to speak to the one that was unseen, which was the Father, God, I called him then, and I believe I asked him the question, why, as a teen, not a teenager, I was younger than a teenager, why are you allowing him to torment me? That's what I said to him over and over and over and over. I used to ask that all the time. Why are you allowing him to torment me? Because that's where I had problems with sleeping. Did I get sleep like normal children? Yes. But I couldn't sleep like when it's time to go to bed, I couldn't just get to sleep. I had to have something on the radio or something sounding to just take me into my deepness of sleep. I just couldn't go because he was always in my head, showing me and telling me when you wake up, everybody in your house is going to be dead. Or if you when you ain't gonna never wake up if you go to sleep, all kind of stuff like that as a young person. So when it got to the point where I was really getting to the level of, wait a minute, I know you exist, but why are you letting him do that to me? Then it began to get easier and easier. But let me tell y'all, I charged that. I charged that. I sure did. I let him know, Father, wait a minute, God, I'm a child. And I don't know why you're allowing him to torment me. See, even as a child, I knew it was two battles going on. I knew it. And I knew that the Father was the greatest battle. That's why I could come to him and say, why are you allowing him to do that? I remember he allowed me to see in this darkness this ugly creature, and he had this like a voodoo doll, and he was sticking needles in it. And I was saying, see, you letting him torment me by my feet and my hand, because it used to be like nails going in my hand all the time. And I used to do like this here, and even with my feet. So that lasts for a good year or maybe 2 years. And I'm telling you, everything I went before the Most High Yah as a child, and he always showed me what was going on. As I look back at it, I think of how Yah had allowed him to put his best foot forward. And guess what? Just to show him, you won't ever get hurt. You won't ever get her. So as time go on, I think when I was like in the 7th and 8th grade, it got better. It got better. And from that time on, it started to get better. I didn't have no communication with Satan playing on my mind, making me scared of fire. The house is gonna be on fire. So all night long I'm jumping up, checking the stoves in the eyes, and go back and get into bed, then jump up another hour, run down there and check the stove. And I'm telling you, he had me going. But in it all, when I look back over my life, I think about how Yah had me in the palm of his hand all the time. Oh, I look at that and I see that. But on the outside, as far as people, even then, I could really tell you people were very intimidated by me. Even the children, teenagers, young adults, y'all, I'm serious. And I knew it. I knew it. I felt people being afraid of me. I put it like that. That's how I would call it back then. That people were afraid of me. That's what I say. That's how I call it. Oh, they're afraid of me. But as I began to uh, go into high school, got my first job when I was in the 8th grade, and I began to work and go to school. Yeah, yes, I did. Uh, and I get a job. It was the same thing. The boss, the manager, the always were fearful of me. I used to call it, they was afraid, you know. But if you think of intimidated by you, it's a form of frightened, scared, or inferior. The reason why is because of what Yah had invested in me. Okay, it wasn't a thing of the flesh, it was a thing of the spirit. And when people don't have the Ruach in them, they question the flesh. They have the issues with the flesh. This is another reason why people won't support Deborah, is because their flesh has the issue, because their spirit does not have the Holy Spirit. When you have the Ruach HaKodesh in you, you know that you know already through the Ruach that if you're going to eat at the table of someone that's feeding your spirit, show appreciation to who? The Most High Yah. See, they don't get it. It ain't meant for them to get, because they think that they're in there regardless what anybody say. They are Yah's most gift to the whole world, and they don't have to support, or they don't have to do anything. But why is the individual continuing on the page? That's the most powerfulest thing. Why continue to eat from the plate of the spirit and have the wicked heart of the flesh? Now, say if Yah, I ain't gonna say if Yah knows what a person have. So they can't play that on him, but they do. That's why he say what they do to you is what they do to me, Deborah. They will play that on him. The same very thing. That I don't have to give you my time. I don't have to give you my energy. I don't have to give you nothing of me. I'm just going to the kingdom. I'm going to the Mount Zion. I know I got the keys to the kingdom. That's the heart of people, and they can't even see it. So I think about his strong delusion that he had poured out. Is it that same strong delusion where people can't see it, can't get it? Let's get back into this, because I got onto that. So as I was coming up in school, it was the same way in elementary, in high school, as a young adult, among my family, among my friends that I did have. It was still a wall there. And I knew it was something connected to spiritual, but I couldn't pinpoint it, because in my mind, it's no way, y'all. It's no way I would want to be a part of the world and on the outside portraying to be on the inside, but on the outside and choose the outside than on the inside. It is no way. If you knew that I would desire to, let me just talk about that at the end too. But when I look at this, I think of how people also wants to be able to control their way in. Once they feel that they are in, they want to control the way Yah have all things in control. See, we can't be in control when he is in us, controlling us. But there are people who don't have him in them, but yet they say it. Just like I tell y'all, if y'all do not believe me, this whole world, the majority of people in the world believe there's no hell, there's no lake of fire, but there's a heaven, and everybody is going. Now, this is the majority of human beings here on this earth. I don't care what religion, they believe that there's no hell, lake of fire, but there's a kingdom that everybody's going to. They're not looking at darkness and wicked and evil, the serpent seed and the devil and Satan. They just think that it's impossible. If I'm going to believe, I'm going to go to the kingdom of heavens once I leave here. That's it. They ain't going to accept it no other way. They are not going to accept it. And they shouldn't accept it. They shouldn't accept it because the way they're living on the earth is the highest of who they are. And a lot of people don't know that. So me hearing what the Father is saying to me this Sabbath morning, they are intimidated by you. This lead me to understand that this is not going to cease. This is not going to escape. This get me right now. I'm going to tell you the right thing about this. This will interfere with people having a pride set mindset or a jealous or a envy or a hate or anything that can trigger them to see Sister Deborah the way their flesh is willing to accept her, for them to continue to abide eating from the table in which she feeds from. You see, they feel that they can do that because Yah can't really see what they have, what they're doing, what their thoughts are, their feelings, but he do, especially toward his servant that he sundown, because he said it to me the other day. Don't think that the way people do you is different than what they do me. He said they do it to you because they do it to me. Not because they do it to you and don't do it to me, Deborah. They do it to you because they do it to me. They first have to do it to me before they do it to you. And it all makes a lot of sense because just telling me that they are intimidated by you, they have no idea the power of what spirit Yah has upon me for individual to be intimidated by me. You see? What is on me? It can't be anything fleshly, you guys. It has to be a level of what spiritual realm that can't level down to the fleshly realm. And that means level down to the fleshly realm because it's going to always have to stay at the level where Yah has orchestrated it. And that is a spiritual realm. So it can't just stoop down and bow down to the way of the flesh realm because of the level of what this realm has been instilled in me. You see, and in this same realm, I'm telling y'all, I told y'all before, I said every place I've gone in the hospital, and I've been in hospital too many times, y'all. I mean, like staying more than 3 days. I've been in hospital many times. I cannot count one time, not one, that when I went into the hospital, they treated me like a newborn baby. And I tell you, don't ever go in the hospital having a bad, I got a little sister that, she's 60, real bad attitude when she go in there. She controls the whole atmosphere, the doctors, the nurse, the specialist. She wants to control them all. But she's also got some issues. But when I go in there, I have been treated, and I've been in the hospital probably more than any one of y'all. And every time I go in, I've had enough babies to tell you. That's how many times I've been in there. So not only just for that, for many a reason, but I can tell you one thing. It's not a time that I have went into the hospital that they have not treated me like a newborn baby. And during that time, as I had gotten into being an adult, when I had surgery on my arm, they treated me like a little baby. And I was young. I was 16, 17. Every time I went into the hospital, they treated me like a newborn baby. Really nice. So I always tell people, don't go in a hospital acting a fool with them people. They there to take care of you. You can't go in there. You can't go in there acting nasty with them people. You talk to them nice. You thank them. You appreciate them and let them know you. That's how it has been for me. Okay, and it's not a time that I have been in the hospital in all my living, many times, more than probably good 30 times, and they have not treated me good. It's not a job that I've went on that they have not respect me. It's not a job that every job that I've had, I quit. They don't bother me. They don't write me up. They don't fire me. They don't bother me. And that's my testimony. But see, it's deeper than a testimony. It's something Yah has invested in you that it's going to be attached to long suffering and endurance. As you continue to live, you're going to see how you need the long suffering and endurance spirit of the Most High Yah. Because you're going to know you're walking in what is righteous, but you're going to have to walk in as righteous amongst all unrighteous. You see, what is saying that Deborah, in spite of them or they being intimidated by you, it's not going to erase what you're in the midst of. It's not going to change it. Okay, so I think about that. I think about being pulled over by the police several times and never getting the police that really treated me anything but kind, nice. You get the point I'm trying to say to you all. So I'm really bringing to you what Yah brought to me this morning. And when I asked him how long have this been, he said since the time you can remember, meaning you can tell somebody something. So I don't know if it's anybody that's out there that has experienced this sort of level with the Father, the Creator Himself. But if there is, I would like to hear from you and let me know if this is you, what I have experienced. Okay. And if it's not no one, that's okay. But I'm just, you can't pick little pieces of what Deborah's talking about. If you have not been in that same whole realm, okay, that's what I'm looking for. The one that's been in that same whole realm as I have been in, and I'm still in. And I still give glory and honor to the Most High Yah for that realm. And the topic of this message is they are intimidated by you. And what else? So throughout my living, empathy. That's another thing that I found myself to be as well. And how is it? I even tried with that, trying to see how I could reverse it. And that's something you can't reverse, just like he's saying now. The level of where they're at and people are at when I told y'all, I'm out. People constantly looking at me like they didn't seen something or they, and I mean white people especially. It's always, and they always give me a big smile. It's like they'll look and they'll give me a big smile. Hello. And they speak, you guys. And I don't even be speaking to them, but they'll speak. And I speak after they speak, but I'm just still saying. So Sister Deborah, just wanted to share what y'all had brought upon me this morning while I was in the water, taking a shower this morning. Yah speaketh unto me. And I really appreciate him breaking it down to me in a form of informing me it's not something he's going to erase. It's something that's created in me, and I'm going to have to walk and stay in my lane and walk this thing out. So I will say to each and every last one of you all that tune in to this page, I've also spoken to you all many a times, explaining to you it's your best bet to get off this page. And I can't say it any other way, but it's best that you get off this page. If you're not for Sister Deborah, you are against Sister Deborah. Okay, so I don't care if you play up in the corner, because what makes you think that you're entitled? Okay, what makes you think you're entitled to eat from the table? Answer that. What makes you think that you are entitled to eat from the table? And this is what Sister Deborah is. Remember David? He said, ye though I walk through the valley of the shadow. No, he said, you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemy. Do you get it? No, you don't get it. Let's go there. Psalms 23. See, a lot of you all don't understand the word because you're so bombarded with your own words. So you're not coming from the level of the book nor the level of the spiritual word of God. You're coming from your own self-flesh. And you get caught up in your mood swings that ain't gonna ever let you go. Because that's how you've been living. In your own personal opinion. In your way of seeing things. The way you accept things. The way you feel about things. Especially your negativity. Now, here in Psalms 23, listen to what David says here. He says in verse Psalms 23, thou prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. But guess what? I want everyone that sits back and play this corner thing, being on this page, knowing you ain't got no business on here, if you're not a supporter of Sister Deborah, and you're not one to participate in the live, escape. There's too many doors you can go into. This is a different kind of door. Go your way, okay? Listen to what he says here in Psalms 23. Thou prepared a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anoint my head with oil. Let me put this here. Thou anoint my head with oil, and my cup overfloweth. So whether you support Sister Deborah or whether you participate, hide on in the corner. Because enemies are prepared to be at the table. But it ain't going to stop Yah from anointing and allowing his oil of his anointing to overflow on Sister Deborah. And are you going to catch that overflow? No, because you're not a participant, nor are you not a supporter. But I tell you what, millions of other YouTubers, find your way there. Find your way there where you can hide amongst the multitude. And you can participate in the live amongst the multitude. Go there. That's your home. That's your place, really, where you need to reside. But I want to check you for first and foremost. David is saying, let me break that thing down. Let me bring it up and land it down. David is saying, Yahweh, prepare a table and let your enemies sit right at it. Because then he's going to anoint you in the face of the enemy that sits at your table that he prepared. The idea of the anointing your head with oil is letting you know, don't worry about who's sitting at the table. Let them sit there. It ain't going to stop or interfere my anointing over your head, because I'm anointing you in the presence of where they hide out to participate at the table. No, they ain't participating at the table, to them sitting at the table. Yah prepared a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anoint my head with oil right in their face, and my cup run it over. Do you see Sister Deborah Sister Deborah did run from one table, from the old page to come to a new table, but it's the same thing. What happens is when you allow those that sat at the old table that didn't do anything, let them come to the new table and sit and do the same thing. That's really on Deborah's issue. But guess what? Y'all say, I let them enemies sit at the table. Don't worry about them. Let them sit at the table. They ain't getting nothing no way. I'm pouring the oil on the head of David, Deborah, not the enemies. Chad. So let them sit at the table all day and all night. You see, I don't want no one on this page if you're not a participant. And I mean those who support and those who do not. If you do not participate in the live, don't come back to this page. Okay? I don't need nobody up in the corner hiding. To me, like he said, Deborah, what they do to you is what they have already done to me. So don't take it to heart, because what they have to do to you, they have done to me. They don't give back to me nothing, because that's where their hearts are at. So don't expect them to do you any different than where their heart is already done me. Okay? So right here, everybody that picks up even the Torah, not the Torah, the Quran. I think this one here is in the Quran as well. See, a lot of people don't know the Quran turned around and took out what it wanted out of the KJV. So they just mimicking what the Roman Catholic has put in a lot of these books anyway, and they just add on to theirs too. Not many of you all didn't know the Roman Catholic created their book too. The Quran. See, that's their sickness. The Jehovah's Witness book. These are Europeans making these books, y'all. That's why we needed something outside of the books. And that was the Ruach HaKodesh living in us to teach us. See, that's the true teacher that teaches us what? The word. He don't have to say words. He is the word. That's how powerful and anointed he is. But here in David, listen to what he says. He said in Psalms 23, it says, Thou prepared a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anoint my head with oil and my cup overflow. Why? Because he wants you to know, let your enemy sit in the corner. Let them play half stepping and not participate. Because I'm going to anoint your head in the midst of them. And the anointing going to overflow into a cup. And listen to what David said afterward. Surely, 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 goodness, mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of Yah forever. See, you don't stop nothing. You don't hinder the kingdom. The kingdom gonna anoint hands even if you sit at the table 365 days out of the year. So what? Sit at the table. You still consider enemy. Anointing the head with oil. My cup runneth over. The anointing is still gonna pour out on Sister Deborah as it did this morning. Giving me the full revelation. Stop letting your flesh come in and try to remove what was already invested in you. You know that is something there. You don't have to buckle up and buckle down to the ways of the mind of the flesh. Okay? And then I like what David says. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of who? Yah forever. Psalms 23, 5 and 6. So you see how the table? A lot of you don't understand. I said this is the devil's platform. You don't get it, do you? So if this is a devil platform, what's different than on this devil platform? Yah's light is sitting here on this platform. You see? The devil's platform. So therefore, you're going to have devils entering therein the platform that is prepared to speak spirit and truth and the light to the individuals that's lost in the body of Hamashiach, and to the individual that are found that's just looking for food, more food for their spirit so they can take this mission and run with it. Take this light and run with it. Take this spirit and truth and run with it. They got their backpacks full and they're doing something. They're not sitting around up in the corner at the table as an enemy. Sister Deborah says, again, y'all brought this message to me. Out of the water, he speaketh. They are intimidated by you. Shalom and shalom.